Hello everyone, welcome to Litchfield. I'm your host, John Latcher. This is our second show here on LCTV Channel 20, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching. Before I begin the show tonight, I would just like to take a moment to talk about the 4 Marines that were killed in Tennessee recently. It is such a tragedy. First of all, my thoughts and prayers go out to each and every one of the family members of the Marines. From what I understand from hearing on the news and reading in the paper, one of these Marines actually had 2 Purple Hearts. And for him and these other 3 Marines to be tragically killed in their own homeland, the United States of America, is a complete tragedy. And I hope and I pray that I never hear about this ever again. Now let's start the show. I usually start the show out with some government meetings and some current events going on in the town of Litchfield. So let's start with that right now. On Monday, July 27th is the Board of Selectmen meeting. That meeting starts at 6 p.m. Current public input starts at 6:30. On Tuesday, July 28th is the Recreation Commission. That meeting starts at 7:30 p.m. On Tuesday, August 4th, is the Planning Board meeting. That meeting starts at 7 p.m. By the way, the Planning Board meeting is one of the most watched meetings in the whole town of Litchfield. So keep watching. On Thursday, August 6th, the Town Hall is the Conservation Commission. That meeting starts at 7 p.m. Upcoming school board meetings, there's one on Wednesday, July 22nd, at 6 p.m. at Campbell High School in the media room. Also, on Wednesday, August 12th at 6:30 p.m., notice the time change, 6:30 p.m. At Campbell High School in the media room as well. The Griffin Memorial School is taking applications for preschool openings for the 2015-2016 school year, until all the spaces have been filled. If you have any questions, you can contact Samantha Deploy at 424-5931, or you can reach her at sdeploey at litchfieldsd.org. Let me give that to you again. sdeploey at litchfieldsd.org. Or you can call her at 424-5931. Hey, Litchfield Seniors the Litchfield Seniors group will be meeting at 1:30 p.m. at the Community Church on Charles Bancroft Highway, and all seniors are welcome. On August 12th is a movie night at the Aaron Cutler Library. The movie starts at 7 p.m. The Litchfield Middle School has soccer sign-ups coming up on Monday, August 17th, from 8 to 9 a.m. And for all you students out there, the first day of school is Monday, August 31st. So all you parents go over to your calendar and mark August 31st on your calendar. We're all looking forward to that date. Did you graduate from Campbell High School in 2015 and ordered a DVD? Well, they're now available at Campbell High School in the main office. The Litchfield Mosquito Control District is looking for members. Their meetings are on the 3rd Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. If you're interested, you can call Town Hall at 424-4046. Let me take a moment to talk about that for a moment. The Litchfield Mosquito Control District originally had 3 members. Right now they only have 2 members. They have been going several months without a 3rd member, and they really desperately need a 3rd member. So if you have some time on a Thursday night, the 3rd Thursday of the month at 7 p.m., please call Town Hall at 424-4046. They can really use you, and thank you very much for your service to the town. And as you know, or may not know, the town will be interviewing and hiring a new town administrator. Let's hope that everyone involved will take their time and hire an individual as good and as professional as Jason Hoke. Jason has been the town administrator here in Litchfield for the past 5 years. He's Litchfield's first town administrator, which, let's face it, is a very tough job to begin with when you don't have a town administrator in place. He worked well with all department heads in the townspeople and served from 1997 to 2006 as Littleton's assistant town administrator, and from 2006 to 2008, Plastow's town administrator. I wish him well with his new position as a town administrator of Williamstown, Massachusetts. Also, there are 2 other individuals that will be leaving town or are in the process of leaving. One of them is Dr. Brian Cochran, superintendent of schools for the town of Litchfield. I wish him the very best. And the athletic director at Campbell High School, John Patterson. I wish him as well the very, very best. As you know, if you watched our first show on LCTV Channel 20, we had a meeting on the pipeline coming through the town of Litchfield. First of all, I'd like to thank former Selectman Al Raccio for being my guest on that show. It was a very informative show. It was it was about an hour and 20 minutes, I believe. It was very long and very detailed, but it had a lot of good information in it. Speaking of the pipeline, there are some upcoming meetings coming up if you're interested in attending them. Okay, FERC has some public scoping meetings. One is on Wednesday, July 29th at 6:30 p.m. at the Radisson in Nashua. Their address is 11 Tara Boulevard in Nashua, New Hampshire. Also on Thursday, July 30th at 6:30 p.m., there is a meeting at the Milford Town Hall, and their address is 1 Union Square in Milford, New Hampshire. Now, the public can attend these meetings and give oral or written testimony. Okay? Now, we have some breaking news once again. We had some breaking news at our last meeting about the town of Litchfield, as well as the other coalition towns hiring an attorney from Boston, Massachusetts. Now, this breaking news is that Kinder Morgan wants to decrease the size of the gas line pipe. They want to decrease it down to 30 inches. Originally, it was supposed to be 36 inches. And at the last pipeline meeting, I had a prop that I showed everybody, the size of the 36-inch pipe. And I brought that along again for today. This is the size of the 36-inch pipe that they originally proposed to come through the town of Litchfield, as well as the other coalition towns. Now they want to decrease the size of this 6 inches. And let me show you the difference. This will be the size of the pipe that Kinder Morgan wants to put through the town of Litchfield now. Okay? This is 30 inches. Okay? If you looked at the 36-inch pipe, there really isn't much difference. What this will do is, this will kind of shorten the incinerator zone a little bit. Not much, but a little bit more. And my personal opinion about this is that I believe that Kinder Morgan was afraid to go ahead and continue with this 36-inch pipeline because it would have been even harder for them to put it through these towns. So now they decided to lower it down to 30 inches. There's an article in the Lawrence Eagle Tribune. It's dated July 17th, and it talks about the Kinder Morgan reduction from the 36-inch pipeline down to the 30-inch pipeline. And the article is, it's a little long, but I'd like to read it to everybody at home. It says, Kinder Morgan to move forward. Company board votes to go with the 30-inch pipeline. And this article is by Lauren DiTaglio from the Lawrence Eagle Tribune. Facing opposition from many cities and towns in the Northeast, Kinder Morgan has announced specifics about its plan to move forward with a controversial natural gas pipeline project in the region. The Northeast Energy Direct project, proposed by Tennessee Natural Gas, a Kinder Morgan subsidiary, calls for a 30-inch pipeline that would begin in New York State and make its way to a gas hub in Drake, Massachusetts. Earlier versions of Kinder Morgan's proposal left the possibility of a 36-inch pipeline open. The company announced its board of directors voted to move forward with the smaller pipe, which will cost about $3.3 billion. That's with a B. The Northeast Energy Direct project is a combination of two pipelines, one that travels from Pennsylvania to Wright, New York, and the other that travels from there to Drake, Massachusetts. About 64 miles of the route would pass through Massachusetts, and 71 miles would pass through New Hampshire. An additional 60 miles of smaller pipelines branching off from the main line are also planned in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Connecticut. That's a new one, Connecticut. I never heard that one. The project's proponents peg it as a solution to spike in energy costs in New England in recent years. Officials from Kinder Morgan have emphasized that the pipeline is designed to serve the northeastern United States. Excuse me. While opponents have expressed fears, the company aims to increase its capacity to sell energy overseas. Groups opposing the pipeline, such as the Drake Pipeline Awareness and Windham residents against the pipeline, say the construction process will cause property damage and inconveniences, while the pipeline itself could pose a safety risk to communities with little or no reward. Windham residents against the pipeline, Secretary Gail Gumbel, whose property in Windham, New Hampshire falls along the route of the main pipeline, said she is not comforted by Kinder Morgan's decision to go with a 30-inch pipeline over a 36-inch pipeline. In addition to safety concerns, she expressed doubt that the region's energy costs will go down. I still think with the 30-inch pipeline is a big concern, and it concerns me as well, and it should concern every Litchfield resident as well. They have the ability to ship this gas to Canada and to sell it overseas, she said. We're polluting our own environment to get this gas. And if it's sold overseas, the United States is going to be competing with international markets. We're going to competing for our own gas. Even if the pipeline did have a positive impact on electricity rates, she said it wouldn't matter in Windham, where most residents use oil or wood stoves. We just don't have the infrastructure, she said. Nor does Pelham, New Hampshire, another community the pipeline is slated to cut through, Gumbel said. The vote by Kinder Morgan's board on the pipe's diameter solidifies one detail of many that have been in flux about the project, including its exact route through the region. Presently, the company is working within a 400-foot wide study corridor to determine the placement of the offshoot lines that will run beneath Merrimack Valley communities. The route could twist and turn within that 400 feet to avoid a problem areas like conservation lands, wetlands, and historically significant sites. Oh, now the pipe's going to bend. Okay. Kinder Morgan representatives have also said they will meet with individual property owners affected by the project to discuss their concerns. If you watched the last meeting about the pipeline, I want to reiterate two things. If anybody from Kinder Morgan comes to your front door and wants to do a survey, tell them absolutely no. Okay? And if they give you a hard time, or if you're taking them as maybe a possible threat to you, you can call the Litchfield Police at 424-4047, and they will escort this man or woman off of your property. Okay? So if they come to your door, say absolutely no. Okay? And if they want to talk to you, like it says in this article, do not sign anything, okay? Do not sign anything. Because this could be their chance at maybe having you sign a paper that you don't want to sign, okay? Sign absolutely nothing. I continue with the article. Some local officials hope that by going on the record with their opposition, they can convince Kinder Morgan to bypass their community altogether. Last week, the Methuen City Council unanimously passed a resolution bringing into question the safety of the citizens of Methuen and unfair to Methuen residents. In fact, in Hollis, they talked about in Hollis, they're not even having the pipeline go through their town anymore. Okay. The Andover Board of Selectmen also drafted a letter to Congressman Nikki Songus, urging her to approach the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, the body with the final say over whether Kinder Morgan project gets built. In the letter, they request that the Commission delay any upcoming meeting in Dracut until the latest version of Kinder Morgan's plan is available. An updated report is expected in the next coming weeks. Rich Cowan, a Dracut-based consultant who has presented in alternative sources of natural gas at public meetings all over the region, said Kinder Morgan's choice to move forward with the smaller pipeline reflects a lack of demand for natural gas. I think Kinder Morgan is trying to make lemonade out of lemons. They wanted to go for a 2.2 billion cubic foot pipeline, and they haven't had enough customers to build the size of the pipeline that they want, he said. Cowan said he believes that growing alternatives energy usage in New England, combined with other pipeline projects and expanding the capacity of existing pipelines, negates the need for Kinder Morgan's project locally. He said he foresees the company using the pipeline to send gas to other parts of the world. In the month of June, wholesale electric rate prices were at record lows. Let me repeat that. In the month of June, wholesale electricity prices were at record lows. We're talking about having record low electricity prices for 9 months out of the year already. And the changes you need to extend that to the other 3 months do not require that you build a giant pipeline. I agree with him 100%. So that's the breaking news, that Kinder Morgan wants to go from the 36-inch pipe down to the more common size, down to the 30-inch pipe, which is in most of the United States right now. All right. Let's go on to our next subject. Let's talk about household hazardous waste. If you have any paint hanging around your house or paint thinner or any stuff like that that you've been waiting years to get rid of, like I have, you put it off, you put it on the shelf, and you go, maybe I'll get around to disposing of that properly, and maybe I won't. And then the years and months go by, and guess what? That paint thinner is still on the shelf. Okay, but I'll tell you how you can get rid of some of that stuff. The hazardous waste collection happens a few days and times during the calendar year. The next time that they will be having a household hazardous waste collection is on Saturday, August 1st, from 8 to 12 at the Nashua Public Works Garage. Okay? And if you cannot make that date, they are having another collection on Saturday, October 3rd, from 8 to 12. And it's at the Nashua Public Works Garage, as I just stated. And if you want the address, it's located at 7 Stadium Drive in Nashua, New Hampshire. That's 7 Stadium Drive in Nashua, New Hampshire. The user fee is $10 per vehicle. That's up to 10 gallons or 20 pounds of waste. And they accept cash or credit card. Cash or check. If you bring electronics, you do not have to pay the $10 user fee. All right, but a separate charge will be applied. Items that will be accepted are, they're going to be accepting air conditioners, antifreeze, adhesives, drain cleaner, driveway sealer, electronics, fertilizer, herbicides, metal polish, mixed gasoline, NiCad batteries, as well as pool chemicals, rodent killers, varnish removal, wood preservatives, as well as paint strippers, pesticides, no pest strips, oil-based paints, oven cleaner, and lastly, paint thinner. And there also have some prohibited items. Okay, latex paint. If you have a full or nearly full can of latex paint, you can donate that to the Habitat for Humanity. And they're located at 352 Amherst Street in Nashua. And for more information, you can call 943-8980. That's 943-8980. If you have a empty fire extinguisher hanging around your home that you want to get rid of, you can return that free of charge to ASAP Fire Company, and they're located at 90 Progress Avenue in Tingsboro, Mass. And their phone number is 978-649-4945. That's 978-649-4945. If you have a smoke detector that you'd like to get rid of, the smoke detectors, as you may or may not know, contain radioactive material and must be returned to the manufacturer. If you have a carbon monoxide detector, those do not contain radioactive material. You are allowed to throw that into the regular trash after you remove the battery. Okay, you can throw it in the trash after you remove the battery. Okay. If you have any used oil around your home that you'd like to get rid of, that is not mixed with anything else, you can bring that to your local transfer station or a participating auto parts store in your area. If you have an auto battery, Litchfield accepts auto batteries from their residents at their transfer station. Or you can bring the auto battery to be recycled at a participating auto parts store. If you have a propane tank hanging around, Litchfield accepts propane tanks from their residents at the transfer station. Check with your local municipality to see if there are any restrictions on the size of the tanks that are accepted. As far as medications are concerned, okay, do not flush medications, okay? Do not flush medications. That's because Litchfield, if you come to Town Hall, has a prescription drug disposal box, okay? It's located next to the dispatcher window here at Town Hall. So that's pretty convenient. You just come in and just drop it right into the box here at Town Hall. All right, let's see what else we got here. I was reading in the HLN last week. It was on the front page about talked about ticks that really got my attention. It said that about 77% of the ticks in our area, in or around Litchfield, tested positive for carrying Lyme disease. And that is pretty scary stuff. 77% of the ticks in the Litchfield area have tested positive for Lyme disease. The article talked about a gentleman named Carl Tuttle, who dealt with Lyme disease for 12 years. Okay, he's one of 300,000 people affected with Lyme disease. Usually, when a tick bites you, the symptoms can happen within 24 hours. Okay. Also, Mr. Tuttle's daughter and his wife have also been affected by Lyme disease. And if you want some more information on Lyme disease, Mr. Tuttle recommends you go to this website. It's the International Lyme and Associated Disease Society. And you can log on to www.ilads.org. Okay, that's www.ilads.org. And lastly, I'd like to talk for a minute about Channel 20, as well as some of the other channels in town. Channel 20 is public access, okay? Channel 21 is education, okay? School board meetings, etc. Channel 22 has all your government meetings on Channel 22. All those channels combined is what is called, for short, PEG channels, okay? Public, educational, and government, okay? Now, the reason for my show is to promote Channel 20, okay? I would like to see people, maybe if you're interested in having your own talk show like I have here, or you have a special talent that you'd like to show other residents in town, or you might have a recipe that might be of interest to other people in town as well. If you're interested in that, if you're interested in coming on to Channel 20, you can do that by calling 424-4046, or you can email, as you can see on the bottom of the screen here, lctv@comcast.net. That's lctv@comcast.net. Okay, I think that's all the time I have for today. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching today. I really, really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. I'm your host, John Latcher, and that's in Litchfield.